kind of dominant throughout, Craig. Their best team thoroughly won.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't quite the scintillating football we saw from City at Stamford Bridge, but it was, wasn't far behind it. Rodri got a rest, Bernardo Silva got a rest, in came Mahrez, who I have to say was pretty poor, a bit of a passenger for them, and they still managed to dominate with him. And still no Aguero, still not. And we were talking about it when if he gets up and running to full speed, that's another big string to their bow. United couldn't get near them. Here we have Man United with another final to get to. That's his 4th semi-final that he's lost. Not great. They have a full squad to pick from. I think only Phil Jones is injured. We have City, who it's a good side, but they're cobbling it together because they've got their problems. Some of it's self-inflicted, by the way, and that's another story. It should be dealt with, I think, by the authorities more strongly than it is. I think if players are breaking COVID rules, they should not only have to self-isolate and be fined, they should be banned for a certain period. That's another story. City, even with this team, with the movement of... And even Raheem Sterling, wasteful. City could be battering these teams still. Completely outplayed Man United. I mean, there's no getting away from it. Completely outplayed them, like they outplayed Chelsea. It was embarrassing at times. We were watching 2 games. We were watching the big game from Milan against Juve and the United game, and we were flicking between. And every time we looked up, it was a blue jersey hit the ball. Now and again, there was a fleeting ball over the top from Man United. But it was dominance, and if you wonder why I've been constantly, and I'm not you, but if people wonder why I've constantly been saying United have been getting results, but City are the team to beat. City and Liverpool are the teams to watch, and we saw it tonight. Another clean sheet to add to the list they've got, and they should have been won at the weekend against Chelsea, but it was a sloppy late goal late on. The defensive side of the game's good. They're controlling the middle of the park. They're starting to score goals again, and they've got Aguero to come back. So the best need to up their game in terms of the league, but in terms of the cup, City deserve to be in the final with Spurs.
Frank Leboeuf was watching that game as well for us. Frank,
if he calls them the citizens tonight, I'm leaving. Frankie.
Frank, from Manchester United's point of view, Solskjaer went strong, put out his best starting 11, and he would have been disappointed, wouldn't he? Especially in that second half, you feel, when it's a cup tie, you really want your players to go toe-to-toe with the best, and they didn't really.
No, they didn't in the second half. But, I enjoyed the game, and mostly the first half, where you could have gone either way. We saw goals, but we saw offsides. Of course, we saw Manchester City having mostly the possession of the ball. But Manchester United had good opportunities to counter-attack, and they did well. And they were fighting very well in the middle of the park. But second half, they almost completely disappeared, and most of them, and this is why I think they have a dependence of him, is Bruno Fernandes disappearing the second half. And football is made of mistakes, and that's what it is. And you concede goal because you make mistakes. The thing is, with Manchester City this season, at the back they don't make mistakes. Stones and Ruben Dias have been absolutely fantastic tonight. And it's not the case for Manchester United, where on the first goal, I want to know what Maguire has to say about that, because he doesn't react. The ball comes close to him, he doesn't react. And the second goal, the first thing that you know when you're a defender is when you kick the ball away, you never kick the ball in the middle of the park. You kick it on the side. And when Bissaka did it, especially Osmos on Ferdinand's feet. But yeah, Manchester City deserved to win. Manchester United, I think, suffered physically because they ran after the ball most of the time. That's what it is, the best team won, but it could have been otherwise. Maybe in the first half, if Manchester United would have scored, and it would have been a different story, maybe.
Manchester United, and this is fact, Manchester United cannot live with Liverpool and Man City if they play at their best. Can't live with them, right? There'll be the odd occasion, and they've got results against City recently, because City have been wasteful in the final third. When these two teams, I'll put it another way, if Man United are to win the Premier League this year, and there is a chance, it will be because one, or if not both of these two that I've just mentioned, completely blow a gasket.
Right.
And listen, you have to be there to take that opportunity. But if these two don't blow a gasket in the second half of the season and they kick on, and we know Liverpool have had their problems of late, well documented, we also know City are gathering pace, then United can't live with them. One guy I'd like to mention for City, talked about the defence and Aguero and others. Gundogan is playing some wonderful football again. He was in and out the side for a bit, has had some injury problems. He's just knitting that midfield. You've got Fernandinho and then you've got De Bruyne floating about. He's just knitting the two of those at the moment together wonderfully. He's so good on the ball. He's got such good poise and balance, and he really gives it away. He thought he got himself a goal again. He was just offside. Scored a wonderful goal at the weekend at Stamford Bridge. He's playing as well as anybody in this Manchester City side.
If I said to you at the start of the season that John Stones would be picked ahead of Aymeric Laporte, right? Well, that wasn't even a conversation.
No.
Like, what has happened?
And I've always thought, and I've always said, I think John Stones is an excellent footballer. John Stones has had, and he's made a lot of mistakes. And for defenders, as Frank will tell you, when you make mistakes at the back, you get punished, it gets highlighted. I don't know the ins and outs, apart from the injuries, which has been clear, and the lack of confidence. But even his manager mentioned it recently. He's had off-the-field issues that I can't go into because I don't know the full detail. I know a little bit, but I wouldn't talk about it. So his mind's not been completely on the ball. And for a player at elite level, it's difficult to go in and prepare yourself for a game every day, every week, when you've got other issues you're trying to fix in your life, whatever it may be. And it takes a focus away, because you might even be thinking about it during the game. I'm telling you, it happens. But it looks to me as if he's got a clear mind, his body's a lot better, he's making much better decisions. We know he's a talented player. We know he's good on the ball. We know he's Guardiola. I won't mention the word Guardiola used about him, but he's got the stomach for taking the ball out and taking chances. And he's starting to cut the mistakes out. And I think it's a surprise to his manager as well. But it's a welcome surprise that him and Diaz look as if they've forged a really good partnership in there. I like João Cancelo as well. He's not the greatest defender out there, but he's wonderful on the ball. I mean, he really is a player. When you talk about a Guardiola system where sometimes the right back or the left back pushes into midfield and the centre back goes out wide, whatever, and everybody pushes on, he's perfect for that, Cancelo, because he can do things almost like a natural midfielder can do when he gets the ball in there.
Frank, just picking up on Craig's point regarding that partnership that's developed now between Ruben Diaz and John Stones, I suppose it helps Stones to have someone like Diaz who has been brilliant, hasn't it? What a great signing.
Definitely. I mean, when you play alongside, people who are sure of themselves, when they feel very confident, you get a little bit of that, and it's what happened to Stones. I mean, nobody, as you said, would have thought Laporte will go out. I mean, it was the player who'd been the most used by Guardiola, and suddenly he disappeared. There is maybe a reason why behind that, but at the end of the day, Stones has been put back, and I don't know if it's, the environment. Ruben Diaz, but also the goalkeeper, but also Rodrigo or Fernandinho, who made him feeling very confident. And today he showed that so powerfully, where in fact his tackles were perfect. When he had the ball, he was technically perfect. The anticipation was absolutely outstanding today. He was really the leader. Even if we can talk about Ruben Diaz being the leader, he was the leader of the defense tonight. That's absolutely fantastic. He was the man of the match because on top of it, he scored the goal. But really, his work defensively is great. He's perfect so far. And it's because of Ruben Diaz, but also all his teammates around.
So it will be Manchester City against Tottenham Hotspur in the Carabao Cup final. Remember, that's later than usual this year. It'll be on April the 25th, live on ESPN Plus at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.